nobody knows. Peace. Yeah, that should probably be a little longer. Hi, how you doing today? My name is Chewy23. So in my last video, I gave an impassioned speech on how you must buy stocks. You must! It is the only thing you can do. Which of course sets up this video on, okay, sure, how do I do it? How do I actually do this properly? And I'm going to have to be real with you, I wasn't really kidding with that intro. No one actually knows how. No one knows how to do it effectively. No one knows how to do it consistently. We have a whole bunch of theories, and they're being worked on as we speak, but a whole bunch of people reject those theories. And the main theory seems to not be the more fun approach. The one that's not as good of a story. Which I guess kind of implies that I am an expert at this, which I guess in some ways is kind of true. Because I actually do have stocks and mutual funds and robo-advisors, and I've been looking into other forms of investing, so I guess I am an expert. That's not really a reflection on expertise as much as it's a reflection on everything else. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to explain what stocks are in the best way I can, and as a result why we can't really predict what's going to happen with them. And then I'm going to try to explain the investing strategies or the ideologies behind them. So the best analogy I have for stocks, somewhat ironically, is that they're basically collector's items like card games or video games. Essentially, you buy these objects for whatever reason, and then you hold on to them, and eventually, depending on the object itself, it might be worth more in price. Sometimes you might buy something that not a lot of people are interested in, so it's not really worth all that much. But other times you can get something that's worth a lot of money. And in many ways, it's kind of independent from your own feelings. Like, you might buy something that, oh man, who would ever like this? This is just so disgusting and revolting. But enough people do like it, so they drive up the price. Stocks work in the same way. You buy a certain stock and hold on to it, and eventually, hopefully, it'll be higher in price than when you got it. And in that, we already kind of see the problem, don't we? Who knows where the road will lead us? Only a fool would say. Only a fool would say. Who knows what the future holds? So essentially what a whole bunch of investors are trying to do is outpredict each other. They're trying to predict what the future is going to be like and try to take advantage of that. Okay, I'm gonna put $100 that the small guy will win. Well, I'm gonna put $2,000 on this internet thing. I'm gonna put $200,000 in loans to people who can't really afford them. If you ever want proof that stocks are basically a crapshoot, here's kind of your proof, I guess. I'll even go one step further. The typical story we hear about stocks is essentially glorifying the gambling aspect of it. I don't know what's gonna happen with this company and Cyrus, but it's only 2 pennies a share, baby. Let's ride it to the moon! Woo! I don't understand why you would be intimidated by that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I do want to say there's other ways to invest in stocks that don't necessarily look like this gambling approach. Like, there's a difference between gambling for its own sake and taking a risk just because you think that the reward's going to be worth it in the end. Essentially, that's what mutual funds and index funds are. A mutual fund is basically giving an expert a whole bunch of money in order for them to do the gambling for you. You can tell them how risky you want their bets to be. An index fund, though, is even simpler than that. Essentially, with an index fund, you just give someone your money so that they can buy a whole bunch of stocks that meet the index. For sake of an argument, in a US total market index fund, you give them your money in order for them to buy a little bit of Apple and a little bit of Tesla and a little bit of Microsoft in proportion to their worth on the market. So if Apple's worth 6% of the US market, you have access to 6% Apple stock. And once you have both of these products, you can just hold on to them and assume that the people on the other side know what they're doing. Are these risks sometimes the most optimal strategy? No. There's sometimes where, random example, a video game mall retailer suddenly jumps up in price. And if you only bet $2 on them as opposed to $200, you're not going to make as much money. But that's the price to pay in order to be safe. It's trade-offs, right? Do you want to put all your eggs in one basket and go big or go home? Or do you want to try to cover your losses? Is there a lot of glory in the former? Yeah, of course there is. Ask any of my friends how often I post about my luck in this video game called Arknights. But that's not the only story in the world of stocks. You can make safe bets too. If you want to do your own research on this topic, I highly recommend the YouTube channel Ben Felix. He's the guy who really made all this make sense to me. I hope these videos in some ways do demystify the whole idea of investing in stocks and all that other stuff. But if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to help out. Anyway, that's it for me, especially in regards to this investing thing for right now. I'll see you guys with something new in the future. Peace.